Good morning, I'm Colette Linden.
And I'm Danny Dupuis. Welcome to the special report.
There's a few things going on today, Danny D. We've got Cinco de Mayo, we've got Giving Tuesday, but first of all, we want to start by Casey Security with the video yesterday that I apologize to Dan that we ran out of time at our 1 o'clock show. We weren't able to show it. We did show it on the 5 o'clock newscast, but as our sponsors, we'd like to share this video with you and the hashtag In This Together SSM.
So when they're there at the bank or at the Rexall, they're there to, sometimes they're asking the questions on behalf, of the bank for symptoms, right, or screening.
Okay.
Other times they're there to make sure that people are keeping their distance apart, trying to educate and, kind of make sure they keep their distance because sometimes, people might forget or they just might not know, right?
Right, absolutely.
So it's in a courteous way to just try and make sure that everything's peaceful and limit the amount of people in a branch or in a store so that way it doesn't get crowded.
Okay, so another question I wanted to ask you is people are staying at home, obviously more. Crime is up. I'm not sure if crime's up. I can't say for sure.
Thanks, Dan, and I apologize to Dan and Nathan that we didn't get that out there yesterday. But it is out on our YouTube page. Thanks to Kevin for that. And also, there was a point in that conversation where we talked about how businesses were concerned with people breaking in. Is that there's one business on Queen Street that the guy's actually, or the owner is sleeping overnight in his business.
Really? That terrified?
Yeah, that worried about some
Well, they were saying too with the break-ins, like regardless if you have your garage locked, people are still breaking in some way.
If there's a will, there's a way, Danny D. How about that weather? How's going? I had to start my car this morning from the window. Like, what's going on? There's frost there.
Yeah, so we are into the next few days. It is going to be a little bit colder. So today we're currently looking at 10 degrees with a low of -2. So for those who are just waking up, it is going to be a little bit chilly. Heading into Wednesday and Thursday. Wednesday we have a high of 10 with a low of -2. So it is getting cooler in the evening. And I hate to say this, but on Thursday you're looking at wet flurries with a high of 4 and a low of -5. So I apologize to others.
I was just going to say that. I was going to do a Donald Trump, like
fired.
You're fired. Yeah.
So sorry, everyone. And if you have those Mother Day plans for outside, make sure you dress appropriately because it will be a little.
Put on your snowsuit for Mother's Day.
Oh no.
Well, it's happened before when we've had snow on Mother's Day, so it just happens.
Well, I'm not too happy about that at all. Are you, Chris? What do you think about that?
Yeah, no. Literally moved here from Miami.
From Miami.
And my girlfriend's from Brazil.
Why come here out of all places?
Because he told her it was the Miami of Northern Ontario.
I was told it was the Miami of the North.
Yeah.
Okay, Sault Ste. Marie, Miami of the North.
Yeah. Anyway,
it's their marketing slogan they use for tourism as well.
I don't believe you. What do you have for us today, Chris? Let's get past this Miami thing.
Yeah. So today I'm going to play a little bit more of my video that I did with Dr. Castellani, who's an infectious disease specialist at Sault Area Hospital, and we're going to talk about what a lockdown is and what it can and cannot accomplish. Also, I'm going to talk about some frustrations I'm having right now with the scientific community about COVID-19, where we're getting completely reversed information within days of each other on this, studying the exact same thing, and then also some face mask stupidity as well for a little bit of a chuckle in the morning on how some people are not wearing face masks. That's the word I'm looking for. On their face.
Come off it.
Or more appropriately.
Yes, there's a prime example of a shopper in New Zealand.
Her nose and her mouth are exposed.
Yes, that is correct. The purpose of wearing a mask, ladies and gentlemen, is to prevent you from spitting your own germs and mucus out your nose on other people. This does nothing. This is like, I don't know, Michael Jackson wearing one glove and it's not wintertime or something.
Hey now, fascist
like,
statement.
it's not what it's like. Either wear 2 gloves or wear a face mask on your face without a hole through the part that it's actually supposed to be protecting. I also have a tip on how to know if you are making a face mask at home, how to know if it's actually effective, and I'll have that in my segment as well.
Oh yes, that was a nifty little trick you told us about this morning, and we will not reveal that. We will wait for the big reveal.
The suspense.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Stay tuned for Chris's candle. Oh, I almost set it up. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Let's move on before I get...
Spoiler alert.
That's so bad. Okay, so moving on. Today is Giving Tuesday, and Danny is going to go into that shortly. But what we announced yesterday on the show is that we'd like to launch our new initiative to help get raise funds for local. I can't speak this morning either. To help raise funds for some charities. We did receive one yesterday from a viewer with regards to the animal
Tag, actually.
tag. So we are looking into that, and of course we will help out and post that for you. But today we are going to start with Cystic Fibrosis Canada, and this is very near and dear to my heart for many reasons. And if you go to cysticfibrosis.ca, you will notice that actually first thing that pops up today is their Giving Tuesday pops up. So, and again, Giving Tuesday is global, but that's Danny's spot. I'm not going to take that from her. So,
Sure, not spoil her spot.
Oh, be quiet over there. You had your chance. It's cysticfibrosis.ca.
Well, this Tuesday morning, guys.
We have a walk every year. It's an annual walk, Sunday, May 31st this year. Now, we've got some pictures to share. So back in Hamilton, we would do this walk. And we, this is a lot of our friends here in Hamilton. And we would engage all of the hockey teams and the students and all the friends.
Oh, how nice.
And we call them the Dante's Puddle Jumpers. And they wear their orange shirts. And yeah, it's raised a lot of money. That's my son, Connor. So our friends own a car wash, and they would put this car wash on for their son to raise money as well. And we raised a lot of fun. And that's my little Dante when he was a baby.
How old is he there?
He is, he was born in March. He's about 3 months there.
Aww.
So yeah, handsome as ever. Anyways, let's move on. So Sunday, May 31st is the walk. It is not, it was supposed to be at the John Road Center. It is now a virtual walk. So please go on your treadmill. Please just go about your regular exercise and donate to cysticfibrosis.ca. We will pop that up at the bottom, but we will remind you at the end of the show. And how about Giving Tuesday, my friend?
Giving Tuesday, May 5th, is the International Day or Global Day of Giving, and it is a day to recognize your generosity in the community, as well as like how to build that connection and connecting with one another. So we did take the time to talk to Arch Hospice about what they're doing for Giving Tuesday. So we do have a little video, just a little, like I said, a brief video just to say what Giving Tuesday is and how they are accepting their donations.
Awesome.
So stay tuned for this video. We had Jenna, she works with community engagement, and as well as Natasha in supportive care department. And here's the video.
Towards that at all, or?
Yeah, so we're hoping that individuals do continue as they have been. So we've been receiving drop-offs of briefs and protective items, coffee and food from even St. Vincent's has dropped us off donations of food, and it's just been really heart-opening to receive all of that, even from places that are by donation as well and giving to us. So we'd like to give back, especially to places like that do run on donations that are opening up their hearts to give to us.
No, I can definitely mention that for you for sure.
Thank you.
That's not a problem at all. No, I think it's really incredible.
Awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, they have, we do have a fuller interview, which we will be getting into today with them, but we just wanted to give that little tidbit out for Giving Tuesday, and there's many organizations and non-for-profits you can donate to. But as we mentioned yesterday, it is Mental Health Awareness Week, and on top of that, there are different businesses who are going above and beyond to showcase how you can, actively stay mental health, get some fresh air, and it's also just discussing how you can prepare yourself and what to do. So in our hashtag In This Together SSM, I always Google it and see if anything comes up. And today, PUC actually popped up, and what they did is they did stay mentally safe through, so outdoor activities and how engaging in outside, it helps with your mental health. So they say get some fresh air and enjoy the sun, fit activities and where you can, biking, at home workouts, going for walks, runs, or taking your dog for a walk. Use a fitness tracker to manage your fitness challenges and challenge your family and friends to move and get outside. So PUC, their awareness team, posted that up today for mental health, they posted it yesterday, and we just wanted everyone to know that that's what's going on out there.
Awesome. So hashtag In This Together SSM, hashtag Get Real for mental health, and hashtag we'll be right back after the commercial break, because we still have to hear Chris's big reveal on how to know if you've made a good at-home mask. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
without making a few mistakes down the road, a few sharp turns, and doing things for what we adore but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is Tuesday the 5th of May, Giving Tuesday, and you have something else you'd like to share before we throw it to Chris.
Last night in our newsroom, we got this kind of very cute and creative way of how 2 students from Notre Dame de l'École, Sophie and Alexander, what they are doing is they went to Chartwell's yesterday, the retirement home right on the corner of where McNabb is, and they wrote thank you messages for the seniors and the workers.
Cute. I got goosebumps.
So there's that picture saying thinking of you. They had a bunch of different drawings all over the ground. So there's a little picture of Sophie and Alexander, but also on top of that, which is really kind of clever and cute too. So we know that students aren't in school right now, but both Sophie and Alexander are also pursuing interest in experiments, including coming up with the perfect toothpaste blend for elephants. So
that's so cute.
It's really cute.
And my guy is at home putting hot sauce and Oreos, trying to fake me out. Like, way to go, Sophie and Alexander. Maybe you should hang out with Dante.
It says mixing peroxide, dish soap, yeast, and food coloring makes toothpaste for elephants.
I love that.
Really,
I have an elephant tattoo. I love elephants. I do.
awesome.
That's amazing. Good job, guys.
Yeah, and we love seeing those pictures. So we know that obviously they were not, and how I'm trying to segue this over into Chris saying that those students were not in lockdown, you know, they're not taking the quarantine, but that's okay. But you have a lot on some lockdown information, don't you, Chris?
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. So I'm going to play a short clip from my interview with Dr. Lucas Castellani, which we did not last Wednesday, but the Wednesday before. But we talk about a lockdown, and then as you come out of a lockdown, what are some of the things you need to watch for? So this video here is him explaining what a lockdown does and what happens when you go out of one.
Now, does a lockdown like that, like what was done in China in the Wuhan province, does that actually stop the spread, or does it just kind of contain in one area, but as soon as you then open it back up, it then just starts spreading again?
So it's a good question. I think as of right now, if you sort of did everything right and you locked it down to that extreme, and you had no more transmission, you can make the argument that, yeah, you could actually theoretically prevent spread even when you release it. If there's no more infection being transmitted in that community, once you open things up and there's no infection to be spread outwards. But nothing is perfect in the real world, so only time will really tell us what happens after Wuhan is slowly releasing things. And that's why I think, the release of the restrictions and lockdown is probably as important, if not maybe even more important than the lockdown itself, because you really want to get a good sense on, as you do it, you want to do it strategically. So you know which piece of that lockdown was the most important. And if there's something that you released that was maybe a little bit too quick or wasn't done properly, then you'll be able to identify that one specific piece and jump to fix that right away.
I'd like to thank Dr. Lucas Castellani for joining me. He's the Infectious Disease Specialist at Sault Area Hospital, and he is also a professor at the Northern Ontario School of Medicine. There's more to that interview. You can go back and find it on YouTube if you'd like to see the full 12-minute interview. Now, one other thing I want to discuss is face masks. And, well, let's just say that you need to wear a face mask as we open back up. It's more important than ever. And right now, 57% of Canadians are not using gloves or face masks. We will start spreading it around, as Dr. Castellani was talking about there. When you come out of a lockdown, you still have to keep things like social distancing and wearing masks and gloves so that we don't start spreading it around again, or we're going to have to start closing things back up again. And that lady who I showed you in the first clip is missing the part around her mouth and nose, which is, by the way, the reason to wear a face mask is to prevent yourself from spreading anything, because it covers your mouth and nose, so you're not, your moisture is not coming out of your mouth, as Trudeau says, speaking moistly. And the face mask that you create at home or that you get from a friend or buy somewhere, if you put it on, light a candle, and if you can blow that candle out, the face mask is not thick enough. So that's the trick. Try blowing out a candle with your face mask. If you can't, then your face mask is sufficient. If you can blow it out, it's not, and it's pretty much not any much better than not wearing a face mask at all. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Chris.
Chris, I mean, what a creative way to protect yourself.
Yeah, you're blowing out candles with a face mask, you got a lot of problems. Okay, so we're gonna touch on some news, throw to a commercial, come back with our hashtagging this together video. So what do you have for news so far before I go into Crime Stoppers 101 over here?
So for some local news right now, the St. Joseph Island just released a press release saying that the Go North Music Festival has been canceled because of COVID-19, and unfortunately that is the case. And St. Joseph Island right now too, so many people go to this and they're just trying to keep their community safe. But they did say that the festival was running July 10th to 11th, and those individuals who did buy tickets, you could get a full refund, or you can hold on to your ticket for next year. So there are a few options there.
Awesome stuff. Well, a couple things I want to share. I'm going to jump to the most important that I think. If you applied for your CERB, that's your the benefit that the federal government came out, if you're making less than $1,000 but you made more than $5,000 before this occurred, you need to go reapply. Your 2 weeks are up. Okay, really? So it's just kind of, you ever been on employment insurance, or when I was on maternity leave, you have to go in and you have to fill out your forms every week or two, whatever the frequency was. I don't remember at this time, but you need to go back in. If your birthday is January, February, March, you can start right away. Anyways, it goes on to say that if you're January, February, March, you can begin to apply on May 11th. I apologize, not right away. May or June, April, May, June, May 12th. And those born in July to September, you've got to May 13th, and the remainder is May 14th. So next week, get ready this weekend, get every document out that you need, but if you want that extra 2 weeks, you definitely need to reapply for that money. And we've got a bunch of news, but we are going to throw to a commercial break right now. We will be back in a minute or so with the hashtag In This Together video. Welcome back. Sorry, I was highlighting my notes on my not even going to try and hide that one. Over to you, Chris. What do you got for us? Actually, no, not over to you, Chris. We're going to do it. Oh, my gosh. What is wrong with me today? Is it Monday or Wednesday or Tuesday? No.
It's actually Tuesday.
I know it is, Chris. Be quiet over there. Okay. Holy cow. So sorry. By the way, we are sponsored by Casey Security.
Oh, this is a great Tuesday.
Anyway, over to you. Throw your video for hashtag in this together. Get me off of this.
For our hashtag in this together video, we do have Arch Hospice, and we have Jenna as well as Natasha here. And they just went through, the changes that Arch Hospices have to do. And we also talked about their supportive care department, all the fun, amazing things they're doing. So here's our In This Together video with Natasha and Jenna. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another segment of In This Together. Today I'm here with Natasha Rinaldi and then Jenna Politanovich. I really hope I got your name right there. And there are a few individuals from Arch Hospice today to discuss the supportive care system that they have going on right now. So thank you two ladies so much for taking the time to be here today with us.
Thanks for having us, Danielle. Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. Now to dive on into those questions right away, what the audience would like to know is, has Arch made any changes to the way they deliver their supportive care services?
That's a very important question, Danielle. Thanks for asking. We absolutely have. We have begun to set up virtual appointments as needed. So myself supporting residents and family members as the social worker on staff, meeting up with important needs, of course, in person, wearing personal protective equipment, but certainly challenging situations are still being had in person with that equipment on with the residents and as needed virtually. So we're using a safe, secure platform to connect virtually as well with residents and families. And that's been working really well. Surprisingly, it does. You would think it would take away a little from that personal connection, but in fact, it's been working really well. So in terms of supporting people in hospice, that's what we've been doing. As far as our grief support, all of our programming in terms of groups has been put on hold, but that doesn't mean that we are unable to support our grief and bereavement clientele. What we've been doing is virtual as well, and that's been actually quite phenomenal, in fact, and gives individuals the ability to still be supported with their mental health and their grieving, and just in this way as we're doing right now. Mm-hmm. In addition to that type of support, we've also been, in terms of residents, having window visits. So they do have the capacity to have their identified visitor. However, in addition to that, friends and families have been popping over and visiting at the windows.
Oh, that was a fun video. There's so much fun to talk with. And if you'd like to see the full-length video, it will be on our YouTube page, so make sure you tune in for that.
Can you believe I did that before the thing? I mean, apparently, despite what my children say, I mean, they always say, Mom, you're wrong, you're wrong. I was wrong on that. So I'm not wrong on this. We are now going to go to you. Chris, what do you have for us, please, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier in the show, there's been very confusing information coming out about COVID-19. So I want to just highlight two of those things, plus one other sort of confusing thing as well. And that is, last Monday, they came out and said that 80% of people with COVID-19 have a fever, which is why you see all those, that what looks like a gun where they're taking someone's temperature off their forehead. And then they came out this Monday and said only 30% of people with COVID-19 have a fever. So that's a big difference between 80% and 30%. And we've been screening people based on their body temperature. Another thing, on Friday, a study came out and said kids are great asymptomatic spreaders of COVID-19. Asymptomatic meaning they don't develop any symptoms, or they develop them very mildly and you just think your kid has a cold, and that they're very good at spreading it around, so we need to keep our schools closed. Then on Monday, a study comes out and says kids are the least likely group to actually spread COVID-19. So we're getting very conflicting information, and we don't know a lot about COVID-19. We also have a drug called remdesivir, and remdesivir works at actually reducing the length of hospital stays by 31%. So for example, if the average hospital stay is 15 days, it actually reduces your hospital stay to 11 days. However, they don't know how it works. So we have a drug that we think helps shorten hospital stays. However, they have no idea how it works inside the body to do that, which also means they don't know what the medium or long-term effects of taking that drug could be. I mean, you might be better off staying for the full 15 days in the hospital, as opposed to taking a drug that could have long-term consequences that we don't even know because we don't even know how it works now. So those are some very confusing things. I'll talk more about it on my show tonight at 7 p.m. in more detail. I'll see you then.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, so just to wrap up the show for today, we will be back at 1 o'clock. The Premier will be speaking at 1 o'clock with some ministers beside him with regards to mental health. Right. So we just wanted to remind you that this is Mental Health Week. #GetReal is the hashtag trending right now. I have an interview today with Amanda Lambert. Love her. She's doing a virtual run. This is her third annual run, and unfortunately she can't do it. I guess they congregate at the Roberta Bondar Center every year, and they can't do that this year. But $20 is the only donation she's asking for, and we'll talk about that later. But to remind you, today is Giving Tuesday. So give, be kind. It's free to be kind. And also our cysticfibrosis.ca. I want to remind you, that's right. And they are doing the social distance walk. So that walk is May 31st. And that is what we've got for today. Anything else you'd like to let everybody know before we end up for the rest of the morning?
I'm just letting everyone know today I will be interviewing Josh Smithers of Old Tattoo Company, and he's 3D printing masks, little button handles, a bunch of fun things. So we're going down there, me and my cameraman Aaron, today to talk with Josh and to see what he's doing at the store.
That's awesome that so many things are happening locally to help people in the community and nationally and globally. So we'd like to wish you a happy Tuesday. We will see you at 1 o'clock. Have a great day.